Picking up where we left off, part 2 of this lesson, the curses, Deuteronomy 28 and 15. All right. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. Cursed shalt thou. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of the land, the increase of thy kind which is cattle, and the flocks of thy sheep. Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out. Yahweh shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, rebuke, in all that thou settest thy hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed. Until thou perish quickly because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. Yahweh shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee, until he have consumed thee from off the land where thou goest to possess it. Yahweh shall smite thee with consumption, with fever, with inflammation, with extreme burning, and with the sword, and with blasting, and with mildew. And they shall pursue thee until thou perish. So let's go into this word consumption real quickly here. Let's go into the Hebrew. Consumption, wasting disease, a wasting disease of the lungs. Let's go into blasting. And so a blight of crops. So basically the spoiling of crops. A plant disease, typically one caused by fungi such as mildew, rust, and smuts. A thing that spoils or damages something. I'm going to close this and bring it back open. So let's continue. And thy heaven that is over thy head shall become brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron. In other words, there should be no rain, There should be no growing of crops, which will eventually turn into a famine. Yahweh shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. For heaven, from heaven, shall it come down upon thee until thou be destroyed. Yahweh shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. When you go into the hood, police come in, niggas turn into track stars. They start hopping and skipping over cars and fucking fences and shit. Huh? Thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them. We're living these curses. All the way up to this moment, even as I am reading to you, we are living these curses. Moving on. And thy carcass shall be meat unto all the fowls of the air, and unto the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray them away. Recent example of this is not too long ago when they were on their lynching campaigns. They would just leave the bodies up there. Hell, these demons even had picnics. Huh? Where they would teach the children how to make nooses. And they would eat a meal with the dead carcass of our people hanging right there. Moving on. Yahweh will smite thee with the botch of Egypt, and with the emerods, and with scab, and with the itch, wherewith thou cannot be healed. What is the botch of Egypt? So this is one of the plagues that was in Egypt. Boils, inflamed spots, leprosy, emerods. Let's see what we can pull up on this in the Hebrew. Tumors, hemorrhoids, piles. Deuteronomy 28:28. Yahweh shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in the darkness. Gropeth means to reach out. So let's get this in the Hebrew. To feel. So to reach out, When you're in the darkness and you can't see, you reach out. You reach out to do what? To feel. To feel, grope. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind grope in the darkness. And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. And thou shalt be only oppressed, spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lay with her. Thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shall not gather the grapes thereof. Let's take a look at something here. When you all get a chance, go to this brother's channel and watch this video in its entirety. I'll leave a link in the description. Look at this shit. Her husband's at work working hard, and this is the shit that she's doing while he's gone. Huh? Look at this shit. Let's get another example here.
Yo, Elena, what you got going on, bro? What? This is a friend?
Yes.
So this is what you turned Jehovah's Witness for?
Sebastian, chill out. It's just a friend.
Bro. And you got my kids on the ground.
What are you talking
Bro. You got my kids on the ground, bro. My daughter's on the ground.
Look at this shit.
Winsor, a grown ass nigga like this. I'm not even mad, bro, but you gotta go, bro. Feel me? She got DCF problems. She got all type of stuff, bro. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is really crazy.
Can you chill out?
This is crazy, bro. I don't know how you. Well, you know what? That don't even matter, bro. But dude, she got 2 kids, bro. She like if you see my daughter's on the ground, bro.
Goddamn remorse.
On the ground.
Like no, seriously, she's on the ground, bro.
She's on a cushion on the ground. You know she sleeps on the ground.
Like this is crazy. This is crazy. Look at my daughter, bro. Look how my daughter is on the ground.
Sebastian, what are you doing?
Look how my daughter is on the ground. You got that. You got it.
Back to the lesson. We're moving on. Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Thine ass shall be violently taken away from thee. Let's go back. Let me bring that back. That video was so damn disturbing. It threw me off for a moment. We're living these curses all the way up to this moment. There ain't but one end for this. There ain't but one end. As a matter of fact, I'm going to read it to you. I'm going to tell you what Yahweh said. Until thou be destroyed. That's what he said. So there ain't but one end for this shit. Huh? Moving on. Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Thine ass shall be violently taken away from before thy face, and shall not be restored to thee. Thy sheep shall be given unto thy enemies, and thou shalt have none to rescue them. So a more recent example of that would be the Trail of Tears. Huh? Go do the history to show the Trail of Tears. Huh? When they went in there and they took them people's lands. Huh? And so, moving on. Those were our people, and they took their lands. Moving on. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand. Modern day example, slavery. But they would just take your children in your face and sell your children, your wife, sell the husband, till thou be destroyed. Ain't that what Yahweh said? Till thou be destroyed. Till thou be destroyed. Till thou be destroyed. Huh? We're living these curses all the way up to this moment. Moving on. Deuteronomy 28 and 33. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up. And that's exactly what took place in slavery, and that's exactly what's continuing to take place right in our face, right up to the modern day time. These heathen hold us here lawfully captives. You get up, you go and slave at their places of work, you get paid crumbs, you leave, you think because you can go buy some raggedy ass used car, some goddamn used Mercedes or whatever, you think because you can go to the grocery mart and you can go buy go buy their fucking clothes that they make, and your dumb ass thinks that you made it. And you love it. Moving on. We don't live a fraction of the quality of life that they live. Financially, moving on. Moving on. We're going to pick up at Deuteronomy 28 and 33. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always, so that thou shalt be so that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see. Yahweh shall smite thee in the knees and in the legs with a sore botch that cannot be healed, from the sole of thy feet onto the top of thy head. Yahweh shall bring thee and thy king, which is King David, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. And there shalt thou serve other powers, wood and stone. What are these other powers? I hate saying the name of it. Let's get it. Let's pull it up real quick here. Let's pull it up real quick here. Wood and stone you serve these heathens. Look at this. Look at this shit. Look at this. This is who you serve. This is who you love. A heathen. Look at this madness. Look at this. They're so damn disrespectful. You don't even know that the word Jesus means earth pig. Huh? And I believe there's another meaning. Apostle Tahar went into it, but I can't remember exactly what he said. And so he went into the word even further. Look at this shit. A heathen. Huh? Look at that. Wood and stone. Look at him hanging on some wood. Man, get the fuck out of here. Fuck this heathen. Fuck goddamn Jesus. That ain't the name of the Son or the Father. That ain't the name. His name is Yahweh. That is the true name of our power. His name is Yahweh. First spirit created. Yahweh Shai is his name. Ain't no goddamn Jesus. Fucking madness, man. We're moving on. Shit. It's pure madness. We live these curses. We're living these curses all the way up to this moment. What did Yahweh say? Till thou be destroyed. Deuteronomy 28 and 36. Yahweh shall bring thee and thy king, which is King David, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. And there shalt thou serve other powers, other gods, wood and stone. and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, a byword. We're called niggers, coloreds, blacks. We're called all of these bywords. We're called everything negative under the sun except Hebrew Israelites. That's who we are. We are the Hebrews. We are the Israelites. Deuteronomy 28:37. Thou shalt become an astonishment. And we are an astonishment. When you turn on the news, you don't see nothing positive about our people. Everything that is degenerate and wicked, we're the face of it. Deuteronomy 28:37. Then thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all the nations. Whether Yahweh shall lead thee, thou shalt carry much seed out of the field, and shall gather but little in, for the locust shall consume it. Thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but shall neither drink of the wine nor gather the grapes, for the worms shall eat them. Thou shalt have olive trees throughout all thy coasts, but thou shalt not anoint thyself with the oil, for thy olive shall cast his fruit. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. We talked about this earlier, slavery. All thy trees and the fruit of thy land shall the locust consume. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Moreover, all of these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed. Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever, because thou servest not Yahweh thy power with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which we have been serving them, and we continue to serve them. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which Yahweh shall send against thee, in hunger, in thirst, in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he have destroyed thee. Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth. As swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the persons of old, nor show favor to the young. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed. Which also shall not leave either corn, wine, oil, or increase of thy cattle or flocks of sheep until he have destroyed thee. It was customary that you would leave a patch of the land where you're growing your crop for the poor, so they can go in and they can eat. Go ahead, go on Esau's land and get you a couple ears of corn. He'll put you to death on spot and call you a thief. He don't give a goddamn about you at all. He won't even just as we just read. I'm gonna read it again. Which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, oil, or increase of cattle or flock of thy sheep. He won't leave you shit to eat. He'll let you starve. He don't give a goddamn. What did Yahweh say? And we're living it all the way up to this moment. Until he have destroyed thee. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates until thy high and fence walls come down, wherein thou trustest throughout all thy land, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all the land, which Yahweh thy power hath given thee. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body, the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which Yahweh thy power hath given thee, in the siege and in the straitness wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave, so that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat, because he hath nothing left in him, the siege and the straitness wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in all thy gates. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her feet upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. and toward her young one that cometh out between her feet, and toward her children which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for want of all things secretly in the siege and the straitness wherewith the enemy shall distress thee in thy gates. If thou shalt not observe to do all the words of the law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear the glorious and fearful name, Yahweh, thy power, then Yahweh will make thy plagues wonderful, and thy plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and long continuance, and sore sickness, and long continuance. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou wast afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will Yahweh bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. And you shall be left few in number, whereas you were as the stars of heaven for a multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of Yahweh thy power. And it shall come to pass that as Yahweh rejoiced over you to do you good and multiply you, so Yahweh will rejoice over you to destroy you. And to bring you to nothing. And you shall be plucked from off the land wherewith thou goest to possess it. And Yahweh shall scatter thee among all the people from one end of the earth even unto another. And there thou shalt serve other powers, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. But Yahweh shall give thee there a trembling heart, failing eyes, and sorrow of mind. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life. In the morning thou shalt say, would, or will, or if it be the will of our power, it were even. And at even thou shalt say, would or will our power, it were morning. For the fear of thine heart, wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see, Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, transatlantic slave trade. Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Egypt meaning, in this context, slavery, captivity. Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And since we've been here in captivity in the America, we have not seen our home, Jerusalem. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Let's get this last piece. Shalom.
How is the black man under attack if the black man is the one doing the attacking? How is the black man under attack if the black man is doing the attacking?
Ma'am, you have lost your ever-loving, everlasting mind. Okay? There is no group of people in this country that has been attacked more than black men, that have been targeted more than black men, that have been systematically broken down more than black men, that have been You women in our tribe have picked up where Jim Crow left off, and that is facts.